There are moments when the hardest thing isn't the emotion itself, it's the doubt that follows it. Am I overreacting? Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe it wasn't that serious. And with these thoughts, slowly your own emotional response begins to feel unreliable. Not because it is, but because it hasn't been reflected back to you. Sometimes the outside world doesn't validate you, not intentionally. People are distracted, uncomfortable, defensive. You express hurt, they explain it away. You express confusion, they minimize it. You express discomfort, they call it dramatic. After a while, you begin outsourcing your emotional authority. You wait for confirmation before believing yourself. That's when writing becomes essential. As a bibliotherapist, I see this often. The page becomes the first place someone says something fully without interruption. As a writer, I know this to be true. I've practiced this myself. The page is honest. No one corrects the tone, no one reframes it prematurely, no one tells you you're misinterpreting. The page listens, and that listening is very powerful. When you write, I feel dismissed. Instead of immediately adding, but maybe I'm exaggerating, pause. Let the first sentence stand alone. Validation doesn't mean you're objectively right in every situation. It means your internal response deserves acknowledgement. Your reaction is data, not a nuisance. Literature models this kind of interior permission. When you read Elena Ferrante, her characters articulate jealousy, insecurity, ambition without sanitizing them. When you read Sally Rooney, you encounter self doubt, rendered plainly, not mocked or dismissed. The power of those narratives is not that the characters are always correct, it's that their interior world is taken seriously. You deserve that same seriousness. Distrust in your own feelings usually forms slowly. It might begin in childhood or in a relationship where your reactions were repeatedly questioned. Eventually, you internalize the external voice. Before anyone else speaks, you correct yourself. Writing interrupts that reflex. Because once something is written clearly, it becomes harder to dismiss casually. Try this tonight. Write the feeling in one clean sentence. No justification, no defense, just the feeling. Then ask, what happened that led to this? And answer factually. You may discover that your reaction has a structure, a sequence, a cause. Validation doesn't require exaggeration, it requires coherence. There's something stabilizing about seeing your own reasoning unfold. You realize I'm not irrational, I'm responding. That recognition rebuilds trust, and trust in your own perception changes how you move through conversations. You speak more clearly, you hesitate less, you question yourself less aggressively. Of course, writing won't make you immune to doubt. We are social beings, we need reflection from others. But when that reflection is absent, the page can hold you temporarily. It can act as witness, and sometimes being witnessed, even privately, is enough to steady you. This is one of the quiet strengths of bibliotherapy. Reading reminds you that complex emotions are universal. Writing reminds you that yours are legitimate. Between those two practices, something rebuilds. Not ego, not stubbornness, trust. If you've ever finished a page and felt a subtle shift, a sense that your reaction finally made sense, that's validation working internally. Not loud, not dramatic, just very grounding. And here's the truth we rarely say aloud. If you constantly wait for others to confirm your emotional reality, you will remain fragile. But if you learn to articulate and examine your own feelings carefully, you become steadier, stronger. Not because you're always right, because you're no longer afraid of what you feel. Tonight, write as if your interior life deserves to be taken seriously. Because it does. And the more consistently you practice that, the less you will need permission from the outside to believe yourself. Just try this once.